This episode is brought to you by High Point Market. Welcome to the Design Dash podcast, your guide to designing a life you love. Join us as we explore the keys to living the life you want without compromise.
Today, we are joined by Brittny Button, the founder of Button Atelier, an interior design studio based in LA. So since launching her firm in 2020, Brittny's become known for creating spaces that are both calm and timeless, often weaving in elements of Spanish Revival architecture, old Hollywood romance, and European influences. Beyond interiors, she had, well, I guess this is still interiors. Beyond the entire space, she has extended her creative vision into furniture. So she first started with reviving antiques through bespoke reupholstery, and now is prepping to launch her own collection with major retailers this fall. So I'm excited to dive into that. Welcome to the Design Dash podcast, Brittny.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
So for those that may not know your story, can you introduce yourself and clue us into your journey into design and ultimately founding your firm?
So, it's funny. I've only had my firm for 5 years, so I'm still kind of a baby in this industry. But I look back on my sort of upbringing when I was a young, kind of in my 20s, early 30s. It all kind of makes sense how I ended up here. I was a model from age 12 until around my late 20s, and I had my two young children, and I decided I don't want to do this anymore. uh, and
Time for
honestly,
something new.
yeah, it wasn't really a career that I really loved, to be honest. It was
Mhm.
always, I always just felt like I was being judged constantly, and
Mm.
it was really unhealthy. And I'm a pretty strong mentally person, but I just at some point I was like, this is not exercising my sort of creative side. And but I thought, hey, I have these two young children. I'm not gonna go back to school full time.
Mm.
It's just not realistic. Um, so my husband and I bought our first sort of vacation home in Palm Springs, and I was looking for. I'm obsessed with Spanish Revival, 1920s, 30s architecture,
Love it.
Mediterranean. My father was obsessed with architecture, so he would take me around beautiful hotels in San Francisco and homes, and I grew up in very, like, sort of boring suburbia where every house looks the same and the garage center facing sort of house, and then the houses in the back, and I just thought, "Man, yuck." No
Same.
offense,
Don't you
but
just need to rebel against it?
oh, yeah. Like, "Get me out of here." Everything looks the same, there's so many parking lots. Um So I did move to LA about 13 years ago to pursue modeling, just, a job to support myself. And I did meet amazing people through that industry as well. But I always felt like I didn't really fit in, to be honest.
Hmm.
And I would drive by these design shops, furniture shops, antique shops in West Hollywood where I lived. And I just thought, wow, one day I feel I could picture myself doing that as a career. I just didn't know how to get started.
No.
Most people don't just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna go and design houses." Well, that's a lot of trust that someone's putting into you. So you kind of need to like know someone like your contractor or a friend or whomever in the industry, and then you kind of get your foot in that way. But luckily, my husband and I, we were looking for a second home, a fixer, because we were not afraid of a project. And we had hired designers in the past, and I just thought, wow, like, they would source something that was so expensive, and then I would go find it for much cheaper, which they didn't love.
Yeah,
And
and now you're on the other side of it.
yeah, exactly. So, did buy a house that year, so she might have been a little extreme. Um, so yeah, I just said, "Hey, I could do it myself. I'm gonna design this and, restore this 1930s Spanish home myself." So I found this house on a Facebook group randomly. It wasn't even for sale yet, and, we went to go look at it, and we put an offer in, and, um, it was my first time really kind of just going for it. It was just a crash course in learning about construction and permits and everything, and it was so overwhelming, and I was actually pregnant with my daughter at the time, but I loved it. It was
And
just
you
it
must
was
have had a supportive builder then that was okay with you learning on the job?
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, I mean, he was he was very casual. Uh, Palm Springs, kind of like it's almost on your desert time and everyone's relaxed. So he was definitely a good contractor to sort of because I was the client and the designer, so he was just
Yes.
kind
Yeah.
of no choice. but to listen. But it turned out beautiful, and Architectural Digest featured it online, and I just thought, wow, you know, I kind of always had imposter syndrome, like, "Oh, I can't do
Mhm.
that because of this," and I feel like sometimes as women, we just don't have, like, the nerve to go for it, whereas I feel like a lot of men, they're just like, "I could do all this, I can do
Right,
everything."
right. And
Um
creative women too, I feel like it's doubly hard for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I just said, you know what? I'm going to go for it. This is what I love. I love antiques. I've been, selling and buying at flea markets since I was a kid. My parents loved antiques, so they would buy them and restore them. And my whole room was basically like shabby chic antiques. And so I kind of had that eye,
Yeah.
that was something that, most kids would be like, "I don't wanna go to the flea market with my parents, like, that's old, dirty stuff," and I was like, "I'm so excited." I remember buying this old Victorian door that came out of a house in San Francisco, and it had a mirror on it, and I brought it in my bedroom and used it as my wardrobe mirror. When I was a teenager, it's just I loved it, and, so it kinda all made sense, and I did have a partner when I started, before my firm. And unfortunately, that didn't work out because, partnerships are hard. Um, but we both did learn a lot from each other. So I'm really grateful for that experience.
So did
But
you have a different firm with a partner and then started Button Atelier?
she had her design business, and we sort of combined and started
I
our
see.
own together. So
Uh-huh.
she still had that sort of branch of her
Mhm.
design firm, but then we kind of were just like a separate sort of add-on. But
Yeah,
for me, it was sort of with her, it was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And
that's what I
so,
was gonna say. Yeah, it sounds kind of like straddling the line, and a partnership is tough to begin with.
yeah. And, to be honest, I am honest about sort of my, personality and who I am. I am very stubborn. And if I, a vision in my
At least
mind
you're
and
self-aware.
I totally am, and I think that what we did together was great, and it was really fun, and she's a great person, but I think I just needed to be on my own, and
Yeah.
I don't think I believed in myself enough, and then I took a design camp from Kathy Ireland.
Oh,
Kathy,
yeah.
yeah, and she is, I mean, if you've ever met her, she's the most amazing personality. She's like, "I'm woman, hear me roar." Like is, she deserves this. And,
Yeah.
and she said to me, she was like, why are you in this partnership? What is it? Why do you feel like you cannot be on your own?
Mhm. Mm.
I was just like, yeah, because I think I just don't really think I can do it. I think, I was too intimidated by just
Yeah.
being me on my own.
And maybe
And
you
so
just needed that buffer, like, you just needed that stepping stone too.
yeah, exactly. And like I was a stepping stone for my partner, and
Mhm.
we both were for each other.
Yeah.
So I would never say anything negative about the experience because I learned a lot from it. And I
Good.
think a lot. She had never bought a vintage item ever. And all of a sudden, she was really into it. And I think, yeah, it was just a bummer how it ended. She had deleted our website and put all of the pictures just on her website. And I think
Mhm.
I would have just appreciated that conversation and that like, "Hey, I'm gonna take down the website just so you know, I'm gonna put the pictures on, but I'm gonna put,
Yeah.
in fact print, like, collaborated with Brittny Button." And it just to me, that was, like, really hurtful because I'm a very straightforward person.
Partnerships are tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and truly, I think sometimes, um, yeah, it's sometimes it can work,
Yeah, for
obviously,
sure. I mean, I know plenty of designers that have partnerships that are excellent and healthy
yeah,
and for
yeah.
years.
Absolutely, and I've met many as well, and I think that's great. I just think this particular one, there was just a bit of an ego, it was just
Yeah.
like, I want the credit. It's like, well, I also want the credit.
Right.
But, like, no regrets. I really it was just sort of a taste of what it was like, having a design firm, and, so, yeah, then I just sort of, got the courage to be like, "Okay, alright." So,
Right at the
what
beginning of COVID, went out on your own, no big deal.
actually, that was a really busy time, I have to say.
Oh, I
Ev
know, COVID
It
was
was
nuts.
busy for us too. Yeah.
everyone was, like, doing,
Like, you
vacation.
couldn't have timed it better, honestly.
Yeah, things have slowed a little bit, recently, but I'm hopeful things will pick up again soon, so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we've talked about where you've been. I want to talk about where you're going. So you had mentioned that you have a full furniture collection coming out. I want to know more about that.
So, a wholesale company, Co-House Designs, approached us about, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. I feel like my manifesting skills are pretty good when I put my
Working.
mind to it. And about doing a furniture collection, designing one. And I've had that sort of dream for a few years now. I just thought, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to find a manufacturer? How am I going to deal with shipping? How am I going to deal with all that? Like, I just can't. I have enough room in my brain. And so they pretty much take care of all of that. We just do the
Or-
designing, the part that we love. And so yeah, it was honestly it was just out of nowhere. And I was just like, wow, this seems, like a great opportunity. And so we started sort of putting designs together over a year ago, I would say. And most of the pieces are inspired by sort of no name antique vintage pieces that I've collected over the years. Nothing's like replicated, but it's inspired by, just some pieces that I love that have sort of that luxury feel, but
Hmm.
not necessarily, you don't have to actually spend a whole lot of money. The price points are really great. And so I'm just really happy. I mean, we designed a huge collection, so it's not all going to be released in fall. We're going to do it in probably 3 phases. There's lighting, um, side tables, lamps, beds, sofas, coffee tables that can be for indoor and outdoor.
Wow.
So, it's a pretty full collection, and I'm really proud of this sort of first phase. Co-House Designs has been amazing. There has been absolutely no drama. Everyone just sort of loves their job and loves the industry. And it's just been, everyone, no one's rude or disrespectful. It has just been like such a nice process. And, I haven't always had that experience when doing kind of collaborations and things. So, I'm just really excited to actually kind of show it to everyone. A few retailers have already picked it up, which is like,
Exciting.
again, I still have that side of me that thinks, "Oh, you're not good enough. You can't do this." And it's just been such a wonderful and like encouraging creative process. And so I'm really excited to release the first phase this fall. I mean, it's just I love every piece so much.
Oh, that's exciting. I know that there are a lot of people in our audience who are thinking about furniture lines. Like they want to get into that themselves. Like what are some things that they should know? Like maybe what surprised you about getting into it?
You know, I have to say, I know a lot of designers that have attempted to do their own collection and do it everything on their own. And, I think it's really, really challenging. And I think collaborating with a wholesaler is for me, it's just been so stress free.
Mm.
And I really just got to focus on the creative side. And, people, they'll buy things and then return them and then shipping. And it's a lot that goes into it. So I would never want to discourage a designer from going for it, but I think maybe collaborating and finding a wholesaler is at least for your first collection. I
Mhm.
think that it really kind of takes out a lot of the kinks in the process, and yeah, it's just been fun for me, and I thought it would be a lot more stressful than it is. But Co-House Design, they're doing the manufacturer, the communicating, the samples, I mean, it's so much, and I just frankly, I don't have the time to do
Yeah.
all of that. So,
Or the
yeah, I've been
background, I mean, that's really what they're bringing to the collaboration, right? I mean,
yeah,
you can be the creative and you said, like, this came out of nowhere, and I
yeah.
totally believe in manifesting, I do, I think the universe will listen, but
Mhm.
did you have a relationship existing with them? Did you seek it out?
Yeah.
How did they find you? Like,
If you're a designer, then you know that High Point is the epicenter for all things interior design. All your favorite furniture vendors are there, your favorite designers, manufacturers, tastemakers, trendsetters. Market happens every April and October, and we hope you'll register and attend. We're there each market, and we're always finding something new. We know you will too. Check out highpointmarket.org for more information.
I'll have to go back to my emails because now it's,
they just, like,
been
dropped into your inbox.
pretty much.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, I know they had done, I believe her name is Lindy Galloway, had done a collaboration, same thing, with her, and I had seen her collection, and it just looked so beautiful. And so, yeah, honestly, I have to say it was really just so out of nowhere,
The
and
kismet
maybe it is the
just happened.
manifesting power. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone listening, just build your vision board, start, like, putting it out to the universe. I mean,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah. Well, and I also was posting quite a bit about, like, furniture and,
Yeah, yes.
I mean,
rehabbing.
it's like a
There was
layered
some
effect, right?
behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think someone obviously was following me and,
Mhm.
saw that and saw the opportunity in it, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah.
putting yourself out there for
Yeah.
sure. Um,
Yes, because what's the worst they can say is no.
yeah, and it sounds like with your stubbornness, and I share that stubbornness, you
Yeah.
could hear a lot of no's until you get a yes.
Oh, yeah. I still constantly hear no's, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
fine. Like, it's not personal. I can take no's all day because I know there will be a yes.
Yeah, and anyone that you may look up to, I'm sure if had heard their story, not everyone gets a yes.
Yeah.
People who, get there, there's a lot of no's and there's a lot of failure. But I think just not seeing it as failure, and that's just another step to sort of get to where you want to go.
Mhm. Agreed. Um, so where are you finding inspiration for your collection? Is it travel? Just I know you're seeing like looking at the antiques and vintage. Where are you
Mhm.
finding that?
Um, so what I've noticed a lot of designers at the moment, because I'm a millennial, I'm 35 years old. So I'm
Mm,
sort of in that in between where I didn't really grow up with, social media and everything like that. My parents didn't allow us to be on the computer and the TV a whole lot. We were outside, we were going to see things.
mhm.
And I think that's probably where I find my inspiration. I see a lot on social media and I'm like, I admire it and it's beautiful. But a lot of my inspiration comes from just out shopping and out just traveling. Being in Europe, I always come back so inspired. I'm going to Paris tomorrow and I always get a whole lot of inspiration.
I was
The
just there
craftsmanship,
2 weeks ago.
it's just, I mean, it's just
Yeah, it's the best.
so stunning. Yeah. From fashion, I really, like I remember there was this huge workman's table at an antique shop, and that sort of
Mm,
inspired my whole kitchen. And so just even a piece, I was in Texas at Round Top and I
yeah.
found this
Oh,
huge old like shop display cabinet. I mean, it was so beautiful. The patina on the wood, like just the detail, everything hand carved. And so I ended up getting a good deal on that.
yeah.
And I'm
Right.
building it into a kitchen. And so that's really setting, the inspiration. And I think in this day and age where there's so many cheaply built spec homes,
Mm,
putting history back into homes, even if it's not, an older home and it's a newer one. The house that we're currently doing is from the 90s,
yeah.
and so I just think inspiration is everywhere and I take a bit kind of from everywhere. I don't like to copy a design, that's like to me when a client will say, "This is what I want." Well, I'll say. Number one, that's an AI photo. So your house is not going to look like that. And number two, we're not going to copy that. Okay, this is the feel that you want. And I think that's really important, is to just be unique and be different. And I think that that will really sort of, like, there's designers that I can see it's like copy paste, same type of thing every time. And there's nothing wrong with that. That works. But for me, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, not everything can look the same. And I need to get out and see something. And that's really how I get inspired, pretty much.
So when are
Yeah,
you gonna
looking at
buy your own, Paris pied-à-terre?
Oh, that's definitely up there on the bucket, on the
you
vision
gotta
board.
manifest
I
that.
know, me too.
Would love that.
Well, I was gonna say that, I took a look at your portfolio, and it's very varied. You don't design in just one particular style. How would you describe your style?
Well, I'm a Gemini, so I have many different sides to my personality. I have my really colorful.
Manifesting, horoscopes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's, kind of all over the place. I like everything. I love mid-century modern. I love Spanish revival. I love sort of maximalism. I love, British countryside. There's so many things that I like. It just kind of depends on the home, and it depends on the space, really. Yeah, I just really appreciate, I love Art Deco. And in my collection, you'll kind of see where I all sort of mix like postmodern inspired pieces with Art Deco, because I don't think it has to all be the same. I think you can mix different styles. So yeah, yeah.
So is there one word for your style? 2 words, 3 words?
Um, I don't 2 words. I would probably say, um, heri or one word, heritage, kind of,
Yeah.
heritage. I love that the darker woods are coming back in,
Yeah.
warmer, not everything's just stripped and, um, all neutral everything. I love walking in. We're doing a whiskey room in a project, and it's just gonna feel like you're walking into a Parisian bar. And the rest of the house is quite neutral, but I just love that little pop of excitement. And you wouldn't expect in a home that looked how it's going to look. Um, yeah, that's kind of how I would just heritage, maybe. Yeah,
Random question, how do you feel about red?
my mother-in-law's favorite color. Everything red.
You can unpack that as you will.
Yes.
I love like a deep red, a really deep sort of royal
Hmm.
red. I'm not so into sort of bright reds. I think it makes me just think of ketchup, and it makes me hungry.
We were just having this conversation yesterday in the studio, and like, because red is really trending right now.
Yeah.
And I've never been like a red person. I don't know. It's like it doesn't work for my skin tone, whatever. But I'm super into red right now. I'm like, damn it, I'm such a trend follower.
It's okay. I think it all comes into fashion and it all goes out. I would say red is definitely not a color that I use often, unless there's like a little bit of an accent kind of red.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love Red Sister, which is burgundy.
Okay. Like an
Super.
aqua, like burgundy, something
Yes.
really deep and like dramatic.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
To me,
I
that's
can get
more
on
my.
board with that. I can get on board with like the
That
goth.
unexpected red theory, though, was so trendy, I feel like, all throughout the pandemic, and
Mhm.
I don't know, I still really like it. Just, red vase,
I'm
red
kind of
painting.
into it.
Yeah, I
I
love that.
think the most important thing when you're designing either your own home or your space, there really are no rules. You just have to do what you love.
Hmm.
And not everyone's going to like it, and that's okay. But I think, yeah, I I'm not a huge trend follower, but I get it, and I think you just got to do what you like.
Yeah. Do you shop a lot for yourself? Are you just like antiques all day, every day?
I used to, and yes, I do a little bit, but I've learned to get a little bit of a handle on it, because then your storage unit can then just
Yeah.
overflow, and you have to get another unit and another unit, and
Or
so
another
I've just
house.
So I've slowed down for myself, but if I get to shop for someone else, I get yeah, that's the
Yeah,
kinda
scratch that itch.
So then
exactly, yeah.
then you chose the right pivot because you've had a whole career as a model. You
Mhm.
pivoted to a second career as an interior designer. But is there anything else if you weren't a designer, what would you have chosen
Career-wise,
career-wise?
um, honestly, I would probably sell real estate,
Okay. So just
which
anything
isn't
to
that
do with
far.
homes.
Yeah, I just love beautiful homes, and, yeah, I still might get my real estate license just, because we definitely pay out a big, nice commission. But I just love homes, and I feel like, who better to sell a home than an interior designer?
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. So look out for the real estate arm.
Yeah, so I
eventually.
might have my 3rd career, I don't know.
Right. Just integrate it. That's a vertical
Yeah,
integration. It
these
makes
go hand
sense.
in hand. Makes total
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I love buying vintage, super offbeat, weird things. So I have 2 favorites. One is the set of, like, huge resin rams that I bought from the estate of T. Boone Pickens, who was a Dallas oil man. Super
Oh,
cool. I
wow.
love these things. And the second thing I have is it's a series of, like, 18 tiny little framed in this, like, gold leaf bamboo frame, these marsupials. Like, it's just so those are my 2 favorites, and I
Yeah,
can move and leave pretty much anything in my house and just, like, walk away, but it's those vintage, like, really special pieces that go with me. What are
yeah.
your favorite? Like, do you have a favorite? Something that you found?
Well, I would say probably my favorite find would be, these light fixtures
Mm.
that were from, like, the '70s or '80s, and they were just really spectacular. They if you looked inside, it looked like they were made like paper mache, and you
Oh.
look inside, and it's like you can see the little wood pieces all it's all structured, like, it's like a house almost. It's like it was the craziest thing, and I ended up finding out who the artist was, and his name is William Leslie,
Okay.
and he's in his 80s now, and, I ended up finding him and his wife, and I ended up meeting them in person, and they're gonna actually he's still making pieces to this day, and he
Huh.
is like a sprightly 80-something-year-old, like, super healthy. His wife is Italian, they go to Italy for half the year or something like that. Um, and what a lovely human being. And he's actually gonna make a few fixtures for me, but these I mean, some
Oh,
of these
that's
fixtures
so cool.
I've ended up finding them, online, and they go for, like, 10, $12,000 because
And where'd
they're
you find
just
it? Your first link?
Facebook Marketplace.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
man.
People are
Okay.
doing all sorts of things on Facebook. I need to get back into it.
I
Well, it's a love-hate relationship that when
No,
the storage unit
I
starts,
agree.
piling up. But yeah, that was probably my favorite find because I really got them for a great deal, and then I ended up it kinda opened me to this artist that I never knew existed,
Mhm.
and he was trained by an architect, so that's why you see how things are put together, it's, like, almost like an architect.
Yeah.
And, I feel like if he were a little younger and in, like, a different you know he has no idea what's going on social media, he's just making beautiful art, and,
You're like, "You
I
could be crushing it if you get on Instagram."
oh my gosh, I feel like he really but, that's when you realize that these people just love what they do.
Yeah,
They don't care
it's
that,
passion.
he truly is an artist, and I feel like that is one thing in the design community. Like, there can be that sort of snobby atmosphere sometimes with, like, the design world, but I have met some of the most amazing people who really just do it for the love of it, whether they're an antique dealer, an artist, textile person, like someone who sells rugs. It's like they all make our job possible. So it's been really such a pleasure, like getting to meet these people that really just love what they do, and it really kind of makes me. I don't know, like in the modeling world, the career that I had before, it wasn't really like that,
Mhm.
so a little
Yeah,
different.
It's that artisanal hand behind the work. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to remind me his name, I'm looking him up.
William Leslie,
William Leslie.
like, William Leslie's,
Hmm,
light sculptures.
okay, and you
Yep.
just stalked him and found him.
I did, yeah, I through his website or something, I think it's, like, a very old school looking website, and, I am a maybe the other career that I would have had would be a detective because
Right.
I'm actually very good at, like, finding any information that I need to know, so yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible actually that you found him at all, unless it was a signed piece, but, like
Well, it's actually crazy because I well, it was actually a friend and another furniture dealer that found who the artist was. I had posted it on Instagram. I was like, "Can anyone tell me about this?" And he, like, was on it, and he's the one who saw the signature and found the name, and then I reached out to him. So,
Very
that
cool.
was pretty amazing.
Using social media the right way, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
for stalking.
Yeah.
Um, is there a design trend you secretly hope never comes back? Like you said, you don't follow trends, but is there some movement, design movement, you're just like, God, I hate brutalism? Like anything that you just secretly hope doesn't come back?
Um mm, that is a good question. I feel like there are so many. Oh, barn doors. I think we're
Oh,
over barn doors.
yeah.
I've done one, a tasteful one, but I've
I
done
think
one.
we all have. Everyone listening to this has done a barn door.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if we were to do like some reclaimed doors, I think that should be a trend that should come in. And
Or if it's
I
actually
mean,
in
it's always, yeah, I think if it's not in a barn, like we should probably not be doing a barn door.
okay, that's good, valid. Um, what's one space in your home that feels complete and one that doesn't and will just never be complete?
So right now we're actually renting a house that's fully furnished
Oh,
and it's blue, which is like another that's a trend actually. It's like beach house chic, like white with blue everything like that. Maybe that's a
there's
trend that I
shells
feel
in
like
it,
could
just don't.
yeah, I could live without that one. So that's kind of what our rental is right now. So yeah, it's not ideal, but it's nice. It's a beautiful
So
community,
you're
but
renting because you're doing a renovation for yourself?
yes, we're doing a renovation for ourselves. So none of the rooms are complete.
I was gonna say you have an entire home that's not complete.
Yeah, we just got windows put in, so it's
Mhm.
starting to look more like a home, but yeah, nothing's complete at the moment.
My last personal renovation was so tough that I'm having to take, like, a 5-year hiatus.
I totally get it. After this, I think we are good for a long while.
Yeah, it was just, like, brutal. It was during COVID, and it was brutal, and so
Yeah,
I never Melissa can attest, I never stay in a house longer than, like, 3 years just because I get
yeah,
the plug, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I've got
yeah.
to again."
You
Um,
get the itch.
I need that personal project, but this last
Yeah,
one really killed me, and I'm like, "I'm good. I'm good."
it
I
is
don't
a
even
lot
I
of
have
stress.
no desire to even, like, buy a new anything. I'm just like, "I'm good. It's staying."
No, I get it. I totally get that. It is because in the past 5 years, we've basically not stayed in a house longer than 2 years.
Yeah, it's a disease. It's a problemo.
I know. Now I'm just like, I don't have the energy. It's very taxing. It's it's very taxing emotionally, financially,
Ugh,
everything. You know?
I know. And so your family, though, just goes along for the ride. You have 2 small kids?
Yeah, I have a almost 5-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Oh.
And I mean, they don't really honestly, they don't really care. They're just like, "Oh, we're moving again."
I
But I
feel
think our
like my girls, we've renovated, I mean, since this is the 4th house they've been in, at least.
Mhm.
They're 13. I have twins.
Yeah.
But I think they really got into it, the one that we did when we right before we moved to Colorado, the one in Houston, I think they really got it. And they were probably 8,
Okay.
7, 7.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think either one of them will be a designer.
No.
No. What about you? Are you raising designers?
My when you ask my daughter what she wants to do, she says houses like mama. So,
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
sweet.
yeah. My girls are both like, nope.
She's still so young. She's still 4, so maybe maybe not, but I am gonna make sure she gets her real estate license at 18. I think that would be a really great path for her if she wants, even if she goes to college. I'm like, "Just get that. Just learn about houses. So if you ever buy a house, learn about contracts, learn about everything." I think she probably would. I think she might have, like, the designer gene, but my son wants to be a scientist.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Yeah.
that's okay. Let's
adorable.
not dissuade him from that.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's just turned 6 and he's probably reading at, like, a 4th grade level. He taught himself how to read overnight. It was the most bizarre thing. So he loves to see how things work, and he loves words, and he loves, like, numbers, and so he is very, very into maybe an engineer, maybe a scientist, but
A
he
STEM
says a
generic of some
scientist.
sort.
Yeah, yeah.
So before I rapid fire, Melissa, do you have anything else?
No, I think let's get into our rapid fire questions. These are good ones.
Okay. So first thing you reach for, coffee table book or a podcast?
It's so funny. I think it's 50-50. I love a coffee table book.
Hmm. What's the last one you bought? Can you remember?
I like to buy a lot of vintage ones on Etsy, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, just like vintage home decor books, floral books. Everything was just so extra back then. I love it.
Okay. Go to travel destination for inspiration.
Definitely France. Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically, Paris is just so inspiring for me. So I'm excited to get back there.
Ugh, yeah. Jealous. Okay. And the last one is one word to describe the future of your firm.
Um,
And you can cheat. 2 words, 3 words. We'll be open to that.
um, how to describe? Female empowerment.
Okay.
Oh, that's very cool.
Love it. I'm all about it. I think that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a vision board?
I don't, but it's on the to-do list. I've made some on, like, ChatGPT, just like a one that I have on my phone, but I really need to just make one. I don't even know where to buy magazines anymore.
That's the problem. I know. I built a vision board maybe 5 years ago, and it's like,
Yeah,
no. What about a
I
checklist?
think
How do you feel about
I'm
checklists?
a checklist? A big fan.
Okay.
Big fan of checklists. Writing it down, I feel like it enters your brain in a different way versus, on your phone.
Yeah.
Writing down a checklist for me, it's, like, amazing. So I'm very old school in that sense.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. Women empowerment. I think we leave it there. That is excellent. All
Yeah,
about
and there's a lot behind that too, why I say that, because just women in business, I looked at some scary statistics about, venture capitalists
no, I know.
investing, and, like,
It's like
we've come a
2%,
long way.
2% of VC money goes to women.
I mean,
It's a
did
problem.
Poppy just sell for $2 billion, and that was started by a mom, a woman? It's like, women, we know what we're doing. We know
Yes,
what
we do.
works. We have a lot of work to do, but I also, learned the fact that we were only allowed to have a credit card in 1974 and a mortgage.
Without our husbands co-signing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, wow, okay, all right.
Never again, ladies,
Never again. No.
and everything that goes with that. Well, thank you so much, Brittany, for joining us, and this has been great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. It
Thank
was
you.
wonderful to meet you guys, and can't wait to see it.
Yep. We'll be looking forward to that furniture collection too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah, very soon. Are you guys going to High Point?
We
Oh, yes, we
are.
are.
Okay, so I'll be there with Co-House Designs, and we're gonna do a little sort of cocktail hour. So I'll get that information to you
What?
guys.
Yeah. Please
Oh,
email us
perfect.
that.
Yeah, yeah, we
Okay,
will.
you're in. We'll see you there.
All right, bye guys.
Bye, Brittany.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to check out our next podcast coming live next week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
In the meantime, you can find us and more wonderful stories like these on designdash.com. And make sure to follow us at Design Dasher on Instagram and TikTok. Till next time.